Hi, welcome to another episode of Frost Bites with Kelly Frost. I am Kelly Frost. We had Gary White on the show today, and he runs Fogo. Now, a lot of people are confused about how to say Fogo. I'm included in that. So he said you can say it Fogo de Sean is how you pronounce it. So mystery solved. That is how you pronounce Fogo. And we talked about Derby Day, which is on May 4th. So if you don't have your tickets yet, grab your tickets. There's going to be a lot of charities that are benefiting from this. The food's going to be phenomenal, as well as everything else. And don't forget your Derby hat. And we will see you there. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Frost Bites with Gary White today. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. It is an absolute pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I knew we were going to have a good time today. And I tell you what, this morning I got up and I was like bouncing with energy. And I think it's because I knew that you were going to be here today.
Wow. Well, I definitely received that. Thanks, Kelly.
Sure, of course. So let's kind of dive in. So why don't you tell our audience exactly what it is that you do at Fogo? Because I think everyone just kind of sees you as just Gary. He runs everything that's down there. But what is your title at Fogo?
Well, thank you. My title is actually I generate the revenue for the restaurant, but most importantly, I handle the community engagement, which keeps visibility for brand marketing for Fogo, keeps us relevant, make sure that we're capitalizing on our market share from all the multiple restaurants that are downtown. So keeps Fogo's name out there. So I like to attend a lot of social networking events just to keep our name viable.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, and now the biggest question I think everybody always says is, how do you pronounce the restaurant?
Wow. Well, in the States, they say Fogo de Chao. But it's actually the correct pronunciation is Fogo de Sean.
Show?
Fogo de Sean, like the N is dropping off of it.
All right, Fogo de Sean.
Perfect.
Okay. Because I tell you what, I've heard it so many different ways. And then people go, I don't even know how to say that. I'm just going to call it Fogo, and that's it.
Yeah, I like that idea as well.
All right. Well, so we have a big event that's coming up.
Absolutely.
So when you started talking to me about it, I thought, oh, my gosh, I love the Kentucky Derby event that you run. I think I've been there 3 times, maybe.
Yeah, you've been at an attendance of quite a few, more than 3, I believe.
I don't.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's a pleasure. You brighten the place up.
Oh, thank you. All right, so let's talk about the Kentucky Derby. So that is on May the 4th.
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Kentucky Derby, which is our annual event, is a lot of fun. Folks get to dress up like they're actually going to the Kentucky Derby without spending all of the money that it encapsulates for one person to attend in Kentucky. But at the end of the day, we dress like we're at the Derby. We have all of the food, the fun, just the energy of live music, auction items. Everyone's outfits is really what brings it home for the Kentucky Derby. The annual event. It's phenomenal. We even call it a day party, so everyone's engaged mid-afternoon, so your day is not totally lost.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, I love getting dressed up for that. I am so not a hat girl.
Right.
That is the hardest part for me. I'm looking for a hat for months beforehand, and then finally I just decided, I'm like, you know what? Fascinator. That is me. I'm going to start doing that. I have pictures of a hat. And all you can see is my nose.
Right.
I'm like Kilroy. I'm just,
Right.
there's nothing. I look like a little kid. The hat is so big. I look like I'm wearing my mother's hat. It's so bad.
But you know what? There's no right or wrong way to wear a hat for Kentucky Derby Day. There are all different type of fasteners and hats, large ones, extremely large ones, smaller ones. It's just a bunch of fun to see everyone, to see how they put their outfits together for this day.
Mm-hmm. I have seen some amazing hats down at Fogo at this event.
Yes.
I mean, like walking in, like jaw-dropping hats. I mean,
Yes.
gorgeous. These women, they go all out.
They do.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Some people just come and they're just very comfortable, and that's fine. But some of these ladies, I mean, wow. It's
Yeah, you can tell that some have put a lot of time and thought into what they were going to wear. And then you can tell that some just said, I'm going to do the best that I can. I didn't prepare for this, but I'm going to go and have some fun because I know that it's a good cause, because there's always a charity that is going to follow with our derby in regards to the event.
So what charities are there this year?
Well, this year, of course, we have No Kid Hungry, and then we have 412 Foster Project, and then we have Nate's Reptile.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to giving back as always.
You guys always do that. I think that's one of the things that I love the most is that just like with Peel, we're always giving back and something's always attached with a charity.
Yes.
412 Foster Project, which, is our quarterly charity partner. So thank you for giving back to that. No Kid Hungry, you always do something with them. And anytime I've ever had an event at Fogo, we've partnered and given back to that with you.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Nate's Reptile Rescue is my son's nonprofit, which unfortunately had a catastrophic fire, in February.
Yes.
And they're just now finding out that they're not sure if the building's going to be salvageable.
Okay.
So we're not.
Know that.
Yeah, they're just finding that kind of stuff out now. It may be, it may not be, but I don't think it's going to be. But
I'm sure he's going to pick up and go from there. I'm sure he's not going to let that go under.
Right. Yeah. No, it's too important to him. He's been doing that for 10 years since he was, 13, 14 years old. So
Awesome. Well, I love the cause for all three of the charities events that we're going to be actually raising money for.
So the food, are we going to get like the meat sweats when we're there? What's happening with the food?
Well, you're not going to get the meat sweats, but we're going to provide all kind of smaller bites. We're not going to have a sit-down entree plated meal, but there are going to be plenty of small bites throughout the whole day. Of course, we're going to go from charcuterie to antipasties to some fire-roasted meats. We're going to do some creative displays as well. We will not let you down.
Oh my God, my stomach just started growling. Oh my God. You know what I love? So all the meats are fantastic, right? I'm addicted to bacon.
Okay.
So anything that is like wrapped in bacon, like if you got wrapped in bacon, I would be all over you. I mean, anything that's wrapped in bacon.
Sure.
So the bacon wrapped chicken, to die for.
Yes.
But and this is going to sound strange, but on the market
table?
Yeah. The chicken salad.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Totally addicted. And I'm like real funny about chicken salad.
Okay.
There's only one other place that I really like chicken salad from, but Fogo, the chicken salad is so good. What do you do to it?
Well, I can't tell you all the recipes, but I know that they take their time preparing that chicken salad in the back for the prepping. It is not a 1-2 fix. There's a lot of time that goes into it, even just pan-searing. Not pan-searing, but baking that chicken. Because that chicken is cooked differently from what the chicken that we put on the churrascaria, the grill. So it's totally prepared differently. I can't share the secrets with what they do in the back, though.
So I just need to be there early and come and watch.
Oh, yeah. You can come in. We'll let you back there.
Not that I could ever recreate
Small
it.
disclaimer, though.
I cannot cook, so I'll just have to watch and just be in awe of everything that's happening.
Yeah, we can definitely do that live for you.
All right, so fantastic food. We're going to have fashion, philanthropy. What else could we possibly put on that?
Well, we're going to have the live entertainment by Antoinette Trio.
Okay.
She is phenomenal. She's been singing R&B music in the city of Pittsburgh and surrounding areas for quite some time. I don't want to date her, but at the end of the day, she's very skilled. She's very professional, and she always brings that sound that complements the event. So we felt as though it would be a great marriage for us to bring in Antoinette to usher us into this day party, Kentucky Derby. This is our 8th one, so we're excited about it.
8th one, that's great.
Yes.
All right. And then what are the drinks that we have for Kentucky Derby? What is it, the mint julep?
Well, the mint julep is a Kentucky Derby signature drink, and we're going to have the the drink of Brazil, the caipirinha.
The what?
Caipirinha. It's similar to the mojito, the Cuban drink, but at the end of the day, the caipirinha is the drink that you're going to really enjoy. It's very refreshing, and it'll actually accent off on what we're doing for that day.
You know I'm not going to be able to say all that.
Caipirinha, you'll handle it. Just ask for the caip.
Caip.
Yeah, CAIP. Ask for the caip.
Now, what is in that? Do you know?
There's some cachaça, and then there's muddled lime, and muddled lime, and then there's some sugar in there, and then, of course, they give it a good shake. Shake and not stir.
That sounds really good.
It's refreshing.
And then everybody gets a drink with their ticket.
Yes, everyone will get a complimentary drink ticket. Now, if they wanted to have a different drink in lieu of the ones that we just mentioned, they'll be able to get a well-drink cocktail or possibly a house wine or a beer. Okay. We can go ahead and substitute that out.
And then, of course, Fogo has a full bar. You can get whatever.
Oh, yeah. We'll have the full bar ready to go.
You guys always have really good drinks there, too.
Yeah. We kind of stay up to date and refresh all of our menus. So there's going to be seasonal drinks there as well. So Fogo won't let you down.
Now, I know a lot of people are always complaining about parking downtown. That's always what everybody always says. I hate parking downtown. Absolutely. You know, I'll take an Uber or whatever and blah, 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 blah. But parking at Fogo is really easy. Yeah,
thank you for bringing that up. A lot of people do not know that we have complimentary parking for all of our guests that come into Fogo, and that even includes the day party for the Kentucky Derby event. Our parking is at 350 Oliver Avenue Garage. There's 6 floors of parking that sits directly on top of the restaurant. So all you have to do is find a space and come down the Oliver Street elevator, come right to Fogo. If there's any inclement weather, which we're praying that there isn't, you will not get wet because the elevator is going to bring you right to our door.
I tell you what, last time I was there, I was with someone and we came down and I think we Ubered down, but then when we left, we were going back up into the garage. Sure. And she was like, "Where are you going?" Because I was going to the side door where the bar is, where the elevator is. And I said, "Up to the elevator so we can go up to the garage." She's like, "There's an elevator over there?" And she'd been going to Fogo for a long time. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You didn't know there was an entrance over here on the side?" Yes. So, yeah, it's like the hidden secret on the side of it.
It is. We try and go above and beyond for our guests to try to make everything as simplistic as possible without having to fight to get into the restaurant. We literally wanted to provide the parking complimentary to every guest. So it's a win for us.
Yeah. I love going to Fogo. It's so much fun.
Yes.
And there's so many different rooms, and you have the wine room and the back room with the circle table.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
those are our private rooms. We use them for corporate events. We use them for social events from guests that are 15 or more. We have the largest room, which holds up to 75 guests. There are packages that we have for every room, but at the end of the day, we do social mixers at the bar. So we want to be able to provide the space, whether it be private, whether it be open. We want that chic encounter for every guest that comes in. What is your flavor? The same thing with food. Of course, we specialize in fire-roasted meats, but we also offer food entree dishes for a vegan or a pescatarian, vegetarian. They thought of everything when they were putting together the menu at Fogo.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, yes. That's some good stuff there.
Yes.
So do you eat the food there every day?
Yes, I'm a stickler for our market table because that consists of all the fresh fruits, roasted vegetables, soups, and salads. I don't have a really good appetite to eat well at home. So when I'm at Fogo, I go straight to the market table. There's a variety of 40 different items that are up there that are all fresh.
That's a ton. What's your favorite thing to eat at Fogo? What's your go-to?
My go-to is literally the salmon lox, the smoked salmon that is up there with a basil balsamic dressing, which is phenomenal.
Okay, yeah, that sounds very good.
It'll be there for you at the Derby party.
All right, so that's your go-to. Yes. So if you take your whole family out, what would be something that everybody's just, every time someone comes around, they're like, yes, yes, yes?
Well, absolutely. The picanha, which is the prime cut of the top part of the sirloin, that is a go-to. A lot of my friends come down and they definitely want to try the picanha. But of course, there's close to 16 different cuts of meat on top of that, along with the indulgent cuts, which is New York strip, Wagyu. You have a ribeye Wagyu. You have the tomahawk. We feature
Oh, wow.
all these different indulgent cuts. Then we have, a lot of people do not know that we have seafood at Fogo.
I didn't
We
know
have
that.
pan-seared salmon. We have Chilean sea bass. We also have a seafood tire, which consists of mussels, lobster, split lobster tail, lobster claw. There's all of these items at Fogo. We have something that's for everyone.
I did not know you guys had one of those towers.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fun.
Yes. The towers are a group dining special. You put that right on the table to serve up to 6.
Yeah.
So, of course, however many guests you have, we can increase the size for it to be family style.
Those are a lot of fun. I like
Yes.
doing that. So I'm originally from Baltimore. So
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Fun fact.
I don't tell a lot of people.
Fun fact.
Now I moved here when I was very, very young. So,
Okay.
so I'm a Yenzer, right?
Great.
But my husband and I went out to dinner one time, and we got one of those seafood things. I mean, and he's not really into seafood that much, but he was downing everything that was on there. I mean, those things are amazing. They're
They
fun.
are. They really are. I mean, at the end of the day, they look great, especially if you're having a celebratory event, and to place those on the table, that is an eye catcher. Literally, we applaud our chefs in corporate office down in Texas that think of these engaging and inviting entrees and appetizers that they come up with. They do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that's really cool. Very cool. When we got ours, we were eating with Mike Dicka.
Oh, wow. In Chicago?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we were in Chicago at his restaurant, and we were eating. The first time I ever had one of those. Like I said, my husband's not really into seafood, but
Sure.
when Mike Dicka's going, here, eat this, he was like, how do you say no?
Exactly.
You don't. You just.
He's a large man.
He is, yeah. And we were like doing photos afterwards, and I said, "Here, you stand in the middle." And he was like, "No, you're in the middle." He picks me up.
Mike Dicker picked you up.
I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, okay." Like I said, you don't say no. you
Sure.
just go with the flow when it comes to that.
He's a Pittsburgher, right?
Yeah. Yep. Menneson? No.
Somewhere down 65. I know he's from down that area.
Maybe I think it starts on A where he's from.
Avalon.
Ambridge.
Ambridge. I believe
Is that
that's
what
where
it
he's
is?
from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah. But yeah, he's but he does come back here a lot, and yeah, he's a nice man. His wife
Sure.
is very nice. They were very, very kind. It was
Sure.
a fun dinner.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's that kind of stuff that makes everything just life a little bit sweeter.
I agree.
Yeah. So how long have you been down at Fogo? Long time, huh?
Well, this Pittsburgh location got opened in 2019, mid-year. I arrived January 6th of 2020, 3 months before the pandemic kicked in.
Jeez.
Yes, myself and my counterpart, Jacob Dragon, our GM there, as he and we work very well together. It's great to have that operational partnership with Jacob and myself. He's phenomenal. He came about 2 weeks before I did. So the store is relatively still new. We did some branding when we first came to Pittsburgh just to make sure we got the visibility out there. We were community, helping community. The community engagement is very, very important, especially in a downtown partnership. So we hit the ground running. So again, the store was literally about 7-8 months old, but we came and hit the ground running. So yeah.
So what did you do before?
Me, I've been in the restaurant industry. I had actually ran Savoy Restaurant for about 9 years, helping as the director of sales. Again, my work consisted of community engagement and generating revenue, which is very important. Again, sometimes it gets swept under where we rely so much on our staffing to be your verbal mouthpiece. and to share about the workspace and to share about what good things you have. But you have to have that person that is connecting with the community, connecting with your neighbors, being able to make your way into different Chamber of Commerce groups, and just being out there is very important, because your ears are to the ground. You're listening to what someone might have to say good, or somebody might have to say negatively, but you're also able to build allies, whereas you invite them in and you show them the experience of it all. And I think when you do that, it's creating those relationships, which gives you a second chance if you do drop the ball and fall short of you giving the full experience to a guest.
Wow. So customer service beyond is what you're doing, and just keeping everybody just happy.
Absolutely. You pulled that right out. That's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 4 decades, is putting my feet to the ground for customer service. I have a hospitality spirit, which crosses over in regards to ministry, if I might add. And at the end of the day, the servanthood that I have is what allows me to know the guest's needs more than what we want to provide.
So when you're doing all your events and you're pulling people in, how do you pull them in? How do you get people into the establishment that you're working with?
Well, we already have a brand. Fogo is a brand with close to 100 locations globally. So Fogo, again, has their brand. It's up to me to marry whoever I am as a brand, and that it comes across authentic and organically. And in doing so, my job is to merely share with what we offer. And it's up to the guest to decide if that offer was worth it to them. But we're going to do everything that we possibly can to give you that experience as if you were on vacation when you come to Fogo de Sean restaurant in downtown Pittsburgh. We want to be able to wow our guests with service. You know what I mean? So we want to welcome them in. And we also want to go the extra mile with Deixa Comigo. Okay? Deixa Comigo is one of our catchphrases, which means we got this.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Because people just seem to follow you.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go to Savoy and events and hang out, and it was great. We had a good time. But they'd have networking events. They would have, awards events.
Yes.
But we'd also have just, fun nights there.
Yes.
And then, I know Savoy was going through some changes, and then I heard, Gary White's at Fogo.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, all these events started happening at Fogo. You're like the Pied Piper.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Again, I even share this with staff. It's important that you're authentic within yourself, that you create this brand. And the brand, if you're in the hospitality business, you must live that, meaning you have to understand that you're out to serve. You know what I mean? What does a server do in some white glove fine dining restaurant? They're carrying around their tray. They're ready to serve. You know that server by his identity. And it's important as we hone in on our craft, and if we're sharing in the hospitality industry, we want to serve. We want to go above and beyond. We want to have our brand and know that our brand is, I'm here to serve you. You know what I mean? What can I do to make your experience more invitable or make your experience more enjoyable? And it's great to see that smile on a guest's face, than it would be a frown. You never want to let anybody go out, even if they didn't totally enjoy themselves. It's good to find out what could we have done better, or what did you not enjoy in that moment while you're dining with us? Because people work hard for their money, and their dollars that they put in their pocket, somebody's out to get that money, and we don't want to ever have that exchange without us giving our all.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So the restaurant business, I've worked in the restaurant business for a while. Sometimes the hours are really, really long. How do you balance that with your family life? I mean, what's the family life like?
Thank you. Well, for me, again, I don't do the operations for Fogo with staffing and with the client as much. That's more of our general manager's space and what he does. Again, I am out in the field trying to create new business. I'm out in the field trying to make sure we're building relationships. But most importantly, I have been in the late night service or early morning service of providing the hospitality of serving food and waiting on folks. I've been there. And you have to be able to differentiate home life, work life, because your work life can consume you in the restaurant industry. If you're getting it at 7 in the morning and leaving at 10 or 11 at night. I'm fortunate enough that I've been out of that time slot for about 5 to 7 years now. But I believe that there's a time in your life where you have that availability. I don't have that availability at this particular moment, but my counterpart does. Yes.
So you just recently got married, right?
Yes, I did. I'm coming up on a year in August.
Wow,
Correct.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You want to talk about her?
Sure. From what I'm told, marriage is what you make it, but you have to put into it what you want out of it. For me, marriage reminds us of God's love for the church. That's what I'm taught in ministry. And I think because he first loved her, I have to love her with the same eye. I have to see her as the way our Creator sees her. So for me, I'm able to give her more grace and mercy. So opposed to me thinking, okay, what am I getting out of this? So it's a give and take. Marriage is a challenge. In today's society, folks have to really realize that the enemy wants to come in and destroy marriages. And the enemy, who's your enemy? The enemy is whom we would call the enemy of Satan, the spiritually. So the enemy wants to destroy what God has put together. That's his job. It says in John 10:10, I come to kill, steal, and destroy. But God says, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. We have to understand, if we know this going in, that there are going to be challenges, we have to pray over each other. We have to cover each other, to whether we're coming or going. We have to create that space that we're intertwined with God. If you got man and woman, you have to have God, because that's how marriage was instituted, and that's how marriage started.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And it's tough. Being married's tough.
It's very, very tough, especially in today age, all the things that are going on and what's available out there. But once you step outside of that, it's not rewarding, and then you never want to look over your shoulders. So I think it's very important that, my wife and I, that we had got accountability partners. You know what I mean? So it's good to chop it up with friends, folks that you can extend a conversation with, and it stays within that space. You know what I mean? It's important that you have accountability partners.
I love that you're not even married a year, and you have all these things in place to make sure that your marriage stays strong.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much for mentioning that, because even in me being married for a short amount of time, God had to prepare me for her to be able to share what I'm sharing with you. Because without me being obedient and listening to the voice of God to know that this is a woman that he has for me, opposed to me picking somebody, you know what I mean, out of desires of satisfying my flesh, is as important that I had my ear open. And a lot during the years from COVID up until I got married, I've refrained from any sexual activity, that I would be closer to God, that he would hear me and use me for his glory, that he would literally share and show me who my wife would be and speak that into me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but, the closer we draw closer to God is in our weakest moments that we're made strong in him. So for me, the obedience made it easier, opposed to, I've done things my way for 50 plus years, and I've always fallen short because I was doing them my way. So it wasn't until I pressed into his presence whereas I was able to hear his voice and be able to decrease, that he would increase.
So where did you meet her?
Well, we met quite some time ago,
Okay.
about 11 years ago, but it wasn't the right time for us to join together as man and woman, or man and wife, or husband and wife, I should say. But the most important thing is we were drawing closer in our church walk. We were drawing closer in ministry, and we were in these spaces as being separate during COVID. Some folks can look at COVID as a negative. We look at COVID as a positive because it got us into a space to whereas we're in relation. We're able to get into a space in home and dive into word, dive into worship, dive into praise, being connected, right? Mm-hmm. So if we have that connection, whereas I couldn't go anywhere during the COVID season, so I was reading. I was tapping into God's word. I was literally in a space where I wasn't distracted by anything that was going on, whether it be socially. I felt the hand of God starting to shift me into a different space. And it was a true blessing.
Yeah. COVID was good for me.
Amen.
Yeah. I thought I did what I needed to do during that time, and I took advantage of the quiet.
Amen.
And figured a lot of things out and where I wanted to go. And, when things started to open back up, I was open.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I know a lot of people had difficulties and losses during it.
Sure.
Of course, I'm very sad and upset for what happened to that, but I can't get mad at COVID.
I agree.
Yeah.
I always share with my friends, for me, it was almost like we're moving so fast as a people, as a country, as a world. Everything is just at our fingertips. Everything's moving so fast. We weren't making enough time for God. And God said, I'm in control. I'm going to slow this whole thing down. And for those of you that are hearing my voice, we're going to get connected. I'm going to draw you in. I'm available for you. I'm open for you to come talk to me. So that's why I literally enjoyed and appreciated all of that time that I didn't have to go and be a part of everything that was going on prior to COVID. So it was a blessing.
Yeah, well, you can find your blessings in everything, or you can find negativity in everything. So I love your outlook on life. I love how positive you are with everything, and it's always a joy to be around you.
Thank you.
Like I said this morning, I knew I was just going to be, it's going to be a good day because Gary White's there.
Thank you, Kelly. The feeling's mutual. Great people.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited for Derby Day. We're going to have a good time. I'm excited to be raising money for all of these charities. I know that we're going to have Sabika's going to be there. They're giving back. Nice. Like you said before, we're going to have a 50-50, and there's going to be the Chinese auction, which I started to see all these items starting to come in already. Like,
wow.
Holy cow, there's some good stuff that's coming.
Awesome.
We're going to have some good drinks that I can't pronounce. We're going to have some crazy hats that I'm sure are going to be amazing, some fascinators, some fashion. It's going to be a good day. It's 2 to 6 on May the 4th at Fogo, free parking.
Yes.
I mean, how do you go wrong? It's going to be a great day.
Looking forward to it. And guess what? It's only 2 weeks away. So
oh, my gosh.
We literally have to get the ball rolling. That means if you're going to be buying tickets, please reach out to us or get a hold of Eventbrite and pull that up. Get your tickets.
Yep, for sure, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's our interview today on Frostbites with the amazing Gary White. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet for the Kentucky Derby event, go grab it, and we will see you on May the 4th.